who else? Who can maybe provide a test? Who can maybe be a challenger and a contender elsewhere around the Eastern Conference?
Top two is going to be a runaway. But I guess if I had to choose, Ben, it's going to be the Knicks. At least they have the talent to somehow upset teams that are better than them, but they can't in the regular season. Maybe it changes in the playoffs.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
We know what Chris Sale can bring. I was personally high on Schwallenbach. Smith-Shawver, their other starter, looks okay to kind of bad. They need to I don't want to say tread waters. I think that puts it in a bad light, but that's what they ultimately need to do. They need to tread water until Strider gets back, until Acuna gets back, and maybe it's just part of the team morale mentality that we're not at full strength, need to kick things into gear once those guys get here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
They have already decided, it would appear to me, from what you're telling me, that they're satisfied with the quarterback room as it stands now.
Shedeur Sanders does not have the value to go at number 3. I know they need a quarterback. It's about this season with Russell Wilson, okay? No question he's going to be the starter. Winston will back him up. But the future they can get next year.
Pharrell, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The best, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun on the SportsGrid radio and television network, Sirius XM channel 159. And after an anticlimactic start to the postseason this weekend, quite frankly, the games, the NBA games were blowouts. The NHL games really weren't that much better for the most part. It feels like the playoffs have officially started like now, and that's good because the Monday Night Meltdown starts officially now as well. And I got a feeling it's going to be a lit night tonight. We're going to overtime in the district right now. The Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals tied at 2. Capitals had a 2-0 lead. Canadiens banged back, tied the game, sent the game to overtime. Canadiens were plus 165 underdogs in this hockey game. We got an NBA game, 4-point game right now at Madison Square Garden. Like I said, it's a banging night tonight. The New York Knicks have been trailing all night, but the Pistons have gone cold late in this game. They haven't scored in like 4 or 5 minutes right now, and they're letting the Knicks back in this thing again. And they're lucky the Knicks just missed this 3-ball that they just took. There's about 2.5 minutes remaining right now. Pistons up 92-88. They're up 4 with 2.5 minutes left. They have the basketball. The Clippers and the Nuggets are coming up. This point spread's been all over the place. The Clippers have been favored like all day, and I just bet the Clippers at +1 instead of -1. We were going to take the Clippers on the money line. We got the Clippers at +1. The Clippers were like, they were one of the teams. The Pistons just fell apart on Saturday. The Clippers, that was like the only good game. And it's going to be a hell of a series, the Clippers and the Nuggets. But is it a must-win? It kind of is if you're the Los Angeles Clippers. It only gets harder to win on the road as the series goes on, right? You don't want to say, oh, don't worry, we'll win 2 at home. There's no guarantees you're going to win both at home. And, we'll get it back later. What, you're going to get it back in what, Game 5, Game 7? You got to steal one early, man. This is when teams are most vulnerable in Game 1s. You got to get it done. And like the T-Wolves took advantage of it. The Pistons let them off the hook, the Dennis Green special. And they're letting them off the hook right now. It was a 2-point game. They just scored the Pistons, so they're up by 4. So we're taking the Clippers in this game. We got the Clippers at +1, and we're going over 217.5. These playoffs have been an under-palooza so far in the association. So it's been pretty much one under after another in the NBA playoffs. But I think finally we're going to get some points tonight in this Denver and Clipper game. And I'm expecting the Clippers to bring it tonight. They played well. Just Denver got it done. It was an epic finish to the basketball game. Should be a great game once again. Tonight, we're on the Clippers. I should note I'm on the Clippers to win the series as well, so they better win this game. But it didn't stop me from betting on the Clippers tonight. I got the Pistons plus the 7 tonight, but I also have the Pistons plus 2.5 games in the series. So this is massive. If they can hang on and win this basketball game, I'm pretty sure the Pistons can nail down at least one of their games at home, and then I win the bet, right? If they lose, if they blow this, they might win one game at home, go back to New York and lose. So my Pistons bet's kind of on the line here right now. $1.50 left. Brunson on the line. 3-point game. It's going to be a 2-point game if he hits this next free throw. So the NHL, we're down to the final seconds right now. Man, this is great stuff for a Monday night. Like I said, man, the playoffs are finally here. Forget about the weekend. And now that the Rage is back, the playoffs are back for real. The Winnipeg Jets got it done in Game 1 with a late comeback. The Winnipeg Jets are on the verge of getting it done right now. There's 15 seconds left in the hockey game. St. Louis Blues trailing 2-1. Net is empty. Blues have just dumped the puck into the zone, and they're going to have one shot at it here. No, the puck gets out of the zone, and the whiteout is about to celebrate as the game has just come to an end. The Winnipeg Jets are up 2-0. The Jets get it done. 2-1 final score. Game stays under the number. We went right back to the under. We lost the Game 1 under. It was a lot higher score than we thought it was going to be. We said, this game's going to tighten up. And I would expect, actually, we'll get into the Dallas game. I would expect the Dallas game to tighten up as well. This game is scoreless 9 minutes in. Anytime, a team gives up, a ton of goals in a playoff game, or, both teams, nobody wants to get into a track meet. No coach is happy after, even if they win, a high-scoring game. It's listen, we made a lot of mistakes. We can't give up that many shots on goal. We can't give up this many goals, right? It's that whole, look for Ottawa to be much, much better defensively and less reckless. So they're partying in Winnipeg, 2-0 in the series right now. I got the Jets winning this series in 6 games. I'm going to need the Blues to step up, but you figure the Blues will probably win their games at home, actually. But big-time start. You know how important it is to win Game 1 of an NHL playoff series? Teams in a 7-game series, teams that win Game 1, they used to have best of 5 and best of 2 or 3 and stuff, right? Obviously, now everything is best of 7. So in a best of 7 game series, the team that wins Game 1 in the NHL playoffs wins 68% of the time. Boy, that's pretty significant. Nearly 70% of the time, if you win Game 1, you go on to win the series. I don't believe that if you lose Game 1, that you've automatically lost the series. And I don't believe that if you win Game 1, you've automatically won the series. But at the same point in time, there's different elements to it. The Clippers aren't done because they lost Game 1 against the Denver Nuggets. But did you lose at home? What's the mentality of your team? And there's 2 teams to me coming into the playoffs right now that are the most fragile, yet there's the most peak potential. And the Colorado Avalanche have just scored early, so they've just broken through. Colorado Avalanche, of course, took Game 1 convincingly against a banged-up and beat-up Dallas Stars hockey club. Colorado have just scored, and overtime has begun in the district right now. So 1-0 for the Colorado Avalanche. 2-2 Canadians and Capitals. Overtime has begun, and we got the Oilers and Kings coming up. Listen, these 2 teams, they don't like each other. They play each other all the time. They're in the same division, and they played each other 3 years in a row in the playoffs. So this is the 4th year in a row that the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers are playing in the playoffs. There's a big-time familiarity with these 2 teams, and the LA Kings have gotten the better of them 3 of the 4 times this year. They beat them 5-0 recently. On April the 14th. They beat them 3-0 on April the 5th. They lost 1-0 on January the 13th. Notice a pattern here. There's been the last 3 games that these 2 teams have played. One of them has been shut out. I mean, should we bet like one of those crazy soccer props? Both teams to score? No. Both teams. I don't think this is a high-scoring game. Although, so we're going to pull the trigger on the under. I didn't wake up today saying, I'm going to hammer the under of this Kings-Oilers game tonight. But like I said, even the Edmonton Oilers, they don't want to play in a track meet. Sometimes things can open up. So the LA Kings have gotten better on them, but the Oilers have beaten them the last 3 times in the playoffs. The Kings are they are like, extra focused. Like it's a bad taste in their mouth that they've lost to the same team 3 years in a row. Right. And I saw an interview with Drew Doughty last night on KTLA, local LA news. And he said that this is the most confident that he's been. He said in the past, I wasn't as confident as I am now taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Kings need to win game 1. We'll hit this and more on the other side. Let's roll. Bring it.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Monday Night Meltdown. This is SportsRage, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM, Channel 159. I am Gabriel Morency. Well, the saying is big players make big plays in big games, and Alexander Ovechkin just finished off the Montreal Canadiens quickly in overtime, 3-2 final score. Game stays under the number. Capitals win on the money line. Canadians cover on the puck line. Ovechkin scores a couple of goals in this game, and all the star players actually scored tonight. It was like one of those, really, Suzuki, Caulfield, Ovechkin. 3-2 final score. Canadians can play with the Capitals. I'm expecting a lot of really close games But as we stated off the top, teams that win game one of a 7-game series in the National Hockey League go on to win the series 68% of the time. Colorado Avalanche up 1-0 in the series, and they're up 1-0 in the hockey game right now on the Dallas Stars. In-game total is currently 6.5, minus 140 to the under. And the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings are getting ready to drop the puck at the Crypt in the same building that the LA Lakers lost to the T-Wolves in. And, of course, we've got 2 LA teams in action tonight as the Los Angeles Clippers are in pretty much a must-win situation. You don't want to fall down 0-2 to the Denver Nuggets, especially considering you do not have home court in the series. And as far as the Detroit Pistons are concerned, the Detroit Pistons were in control for most of the basketball game on Saturday, and they let it get away from them with a late New York Knicks run. The Knicks tried to come back tonight. So for the most part in 2 games, the Pistons have been a better team than the New York Knicks. The Pistons get the W, 100-94. Game stays way under the number. Pistons win outright. And Clippers and Denver have begun. Let's bring in Joe Madden and Cam Stewart. Joe, I'll start with you first. LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. Who do you think is going to win game one of this series to take place in Los Angeles against a Kings team that's only lost 6 times in regulation all year on their home ice?
Yeah, they've been crazy strong here at home, and I think it continues into this game because of Darcy Kemper. I look at Darcy Kemper and his numbers at home, and I do think it's pivotal for the LA Kings if they want to take this series to come out and make a statement in this game. Looking at Darcy Kemper at home this season, going 23-2 with a 1.67 goals against average, I just can't step in front of him. I do think he's going to come out and shut down the Edmonton Oilers, and this defense is going to come out sound as well. But, you know, Leon Draisaitl back there on the ice, I do think he'll probably find the back of the net once, but I think Edmonton's offense gets shut down otherwise. I'll look at Kempe for the LA Kings and Byfield to really step up in this game, both of them to light that lamp, and for the LA Kings to get the win.
The total is 5.5 in the Kings and Oilers game, and we know the Kings want to play a lower scoring game. And I don't think the Oilers really want to get into a track meet either. Nobody wants to get into a track meet in the NHL playoffs. I am tempted by this under 5.5, but it's. I wish it was an even 6. Cam, what's your pick for game one of the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings?
Well, Gabe, nice to see you. Joe, see you again. It was only a few minutes ago. Here's the deal, Gabe. Chalk has won every game in the National Hockey League playoffs. Am I correct? I don't think one dog has won yet. Like not one. This is my game. I like the Kings in the series in 7. I like the Oilers tonight in game 1 and the Kings to rebound in game 2. As for your total, it's going to be right around the number. I'm going to take the over. But the thing is, I hope it starts. No goals early. You get a 4.5, Morency, and then we can jump on it because I have a feeling it's going to be a 3-2 or 4-2 type of game. But I'm going to take the over 5.5. I think the Oilers maybe get an empty netter and win this game 4-2.
What do you think about the total, Joe, of the Kings and the Oilers? Last 3 times they've played, it's gone under. It was 5-0 Kings, 3-0 Kings, 1-0 Oilers. Now we're playing in a playoff game here. You were just talking about how much you like Kemper between the pipes. What do you think about this total with the Kings and the Oilers?
I'm a little nervous about it because I do think we could see that empty netter like Cam was stating. But for me, I think it's the LA Kings that get that empty netter. So 3-2 sort of situation where Edmonton pulls goaltending, that does push us over that total of 5.5. And I'm going to stay off the first period because those first periods have been absolutely brutal for me in these games that I thought would stay under the 1.5. I had it tonight between the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. We had a 1-1 game finishing that first period that those goals came late. And then we've seen it in so many of these games where those unders where they should be going for the full game aren't hitting in that first. So I'm staying off the total in this one completely.
So they're playing the national anthems in Los Angeles. I've got the Kings winning this series in 7 games. We actually did play all 8 series correct score prices, and it cost quite a bit, actually, times 8. So, you know what I mean? And I didn't have the best weekend, Cam. So, like, before some of these, I'm like, man, I got to bet the series and the damn game right now. I'm like, man, all right. Like, so I'm putting all this money into all these playoff series. Joe, so I played all 8 series exact scores. So like some of them are like +3, plus 400. A few of them are plus 700, plus 500. They're all over the place, but they're all big plus money. So really, if I hit like, depending if one of the big ones hit, if the Canadians win, I would break even at 7-1. But I got to hit like 2 of them, and I make a little money. If I can hit 3 or 4 series correctly, so far we're pretty much off and running.
Right, Gabe? Like overtime. Like all those people that play that overtime stuff, like our boy Carmen Bianco, like Montreal.
Yeah, there was finally, this is the
overtime
first
tonight.
overtime game tonight, actually. So people lost five bets in a row playing that.
But you gotta stay on it. It's tough. It's one of those rides.
What the hell's going on here with this national anthems? It's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What is that?
Is this a Christmas pageant? I have no idea what's happening in LA right now.
I don't want to say anything mean because I don't know. It's probably like some old, like it's a church group or something. I don't know. But like, I don't know what the hell's going on. They're like, I don't know. Like, who is this? I can't hear them.
I got no idea, but they're wearing like Amish dresses. But I got something to say, Gabe. It's the worst. When you go to these games and I bet, know what the worst is? I smashed the Leafs in the puck line, but I took the first period under and the game under. So it takes all the fun away from your team winning. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just taking the damn.
So stay away for the total.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't overthink things.
Stupid total.
That's why I didn't bet on Caulfield tonight. I swear to God, Joe and Cam. Right before the Canadians play, I was like, man, I should take Caulfield to score. And I was like, nah, don't start betting goal scores. You're just going to get mad.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats typically in your direction if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pitch the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. So my Toronto Maple Leaf Stanley Cup prediction has really lit the internet up. I'm getting it from all kinds. So, like, Leaf Nation's like, welcome aboard, Morency. Great stuff. I'm very happy I'm on the Leaf, my Leaf pick. Look at this. I'm Team Canada, baby. Winnipeg Jets versus the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's great.
And they're a combined 3-0 so far. They haven't lost. Let's go. Winnipeg Jets they're getting closer, Joe, to the Stanley Cup. 2 games in. Let's go. Yep. What's the street in Winnipeg? I don't know. Book the street. Was it White Street? What is
clue.
it called? What's the street?
Oh,
Where
I
have
know the street. I know the main street in Winnipeg.
So do I know. I know one too.
Portage and
Portage.
Maine.
Portage.
Yeah,
Portage.
and
Yeah,
Maine.
yeah. Portage.
Yeah.
Portage. That's it.
Yeah,
It's like Portage.
Yeah,
Not
there's a song.
porridge, but portage.
Yeah, Portage. Yeah, like Portage. Yes, there's a song
for people.
Portage.
People in South
Portage
Dakota.
Maine.
Some what portage?
Yeah,
What the hell?
Yeah,
Like, who?
yeah. You like Portage in Winnipeg? No, Portage in Maine, 50 below. Winnipeg's cold, man. You go to Winnipeg in the winter. Brr.
I'm already, like I said, get Bay Street ready. I couldn't help but think last night after hearing Panama. It's a big. That was a wise move by the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're never going to win a Stanley Cup playing Hall & Oates after you score a goal.
I told them that.
Like it doesn't work. You're soft. It's lame. It sucked. And even on top of that, you had a lame. Like it was even a worse. Like Hall & Oates and hockey do not go hand in hand. Like
No.
they don't make sense. And I don't know why or what reason the Toronto Maple Leafs are using Panama as their goal song right now. But I approve. And you can see it's brought life to the building. And they scored so many times last night. I'm telling you, Van Halen, they're going to make residuals because people are going to download the song because the Leafs are going to bring this song back. 6 times we heard it last night they scored. And, Joe, I say the Leafs are going all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, in other words, we're going to hear that song Panama riff probably like 60 to 70 times over the next month and a half, which I don't really have a problem with. All right, so the Kings and Oilers have started, but big time win for the Leafs last night. And as I was saying off the top of the show, if there were 2 teams that needed to win game 1 the most, I'm talking about like for their cup at like the whole big picture, it was the 2 teams that I took, the Winnipeg Jets and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Both have had great regular seasons in the past. Both have had disappointing, postseasons. Things can get negative quickly in Winnipeg. Things can get negative quickly in Toronto if you lose. Hell, if the Leafs lose tomorrow, the Toronto media will turn on them. They got to win again tomorrow, but winning early matters for these teams to not get into that negative, like, oh, they can't get it done in the playoffs. But I wanted to get the updated playoff numbers right now for the series is after what we just saw. And the Toronto Maple Leafs right now are minus 450 to win the series. The Carolina Hurricanes are all the way up to minus 700, Joe. The Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights, Vegas are up to minus 600 right now. And the Panthers and Lightning, this is ridiculous, isn't it, that the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues have already played 2 games, and the Panthers and Lightning haven't even played yet. And what a coincidence that they give the 2 Florida teams a little bit of a rest and like 5 days off before we start the playoffs.
Right.
It's a freaking joke.
Gary, it is a joke. It's almost like
you know what?
criminal.
Kachuk's not healthy. You know,
Yeah.
you need a couple of more days there, Gary. Okay, well, we'll play them on Tuesday. And look at the time, Cam. 8:30 at night. What are you waiting for?
It's
What do you mean 8:30 at night? You're playing on the East Coast at 8:30 at night tomorrow. This is the NHL schedule tomorrow, guys. The Devils and Canes are at 6 o'clock Eastern. That's 3 o'clock on the West Coast. The Senators and Leafs are at 7:30. The LA Kings have just scored 2 minutes into the hockey game on the power play. I'm telling you, it's that those great black jerseys they're wearing.
Very
they look
nice.
sharp.
Oh, they're
There's
great
Will
jerseys.
Ferrell celebrating.
Good for the total, bad for me. So which underdog's
Kuzmenko.
going to win? Are we going to have an underdog win a damn game or what? Like it's all chalk.
Yeah.
You know, like talking about negative, like the Oilers, they lose this game. The Edmonton media, the worst.
People
They'll
come
turn
up
on
and
them
say
right
the
after.
Leafs and whatever. Montreal played a great gritty game. The Leafs played their asses off. You know what? If you want to pick on a Canadian team, pick on the damn Oilers. All they do, they have McJesus and this and that and the other. Like,
You're
give me a
already,
break.
you got buyer's remorse already. You took them.
I sure do. I
Damn
wish I got on
Oilers.
the Kings.
2 minutes in.
I'm such an idiot. Damn Oilers. That's what I
The
get.
Canucks are idiots. Now Kuzmenko scoring goals for these guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
An updated series prices on the other side. 24-21 Nuggets over the Clippers.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Monday Night Meltdown. We've got a lot of activity. I am Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. All right, so the Dallas Stars have tied the hockey game. We're tied at 1 after 1 period of play. In-game total is currently 6.5. I like the under 6.5. I'm on the Dallas Stars tonight at plus 125, although I have the Colorado Avalanche to win the series in 6 games, and I took the Avalanche in game 1. So we're trying to get cute right now and go back, to jump to different teams and win the bet again, which is tricky to do. Dallas need this hockey game tonight because the wheels are falling off for them. The LA Kings are up 1-0. They scored early. In-game total is 6.5 here as well, and I'm getting tempted to click the 6.5 here, Joe. I don't think this game's going to be a track meet, actually, even though the LA Kings scored an early goal. And in fact, if LA is going to tighten things up, LA are hard to score on. Right, so I'm going to go under the 6.5 with the Oilers and Kings right now. Joe, what do you think about the in-game total here?
Yeah, that's a nice price on the under 6.5 at minus 130. It actually just fired up to minus 140, but you're right. The Kings love to play this style of hockey where they get up first and they lock down really solid defensively, and I do think it would stay under the 6.5. So I would go there with the total, the under. I couldn't take this to the over at this point.
All right, so we're getting in here. They just moved it to 5.5 right after I played it. I'm going to play it again, though, at 6.5, but I'm going to play a little bit of an alt line here. All right, under 6.5 again. Let me get this in. All right, so we're in on under 6.5. I got under 6.5 in the Dallas game. Who you on, Joe, in the Dallas Stars and the Colorado Avalanche here?
I'm on the opposite side of you, thinking Colorado could take it back home at 2-0, and then Dallas maybe pull off that upset win in game through set 3. So I rode with Colorado on the money line for this game, but I also looked at Nathan McKinnon for 2+ points. He came out and he did get a set power play point on that first goal. We did see Martin Necas get a point as well. And if you keep looking at his prices, he was only plus 104 for the point tonight compared to Nathan McKinnon, who's like goal even is like minus 120. So looking at those secondary guys, always smart out there on the ice.
All right, so look at it tomorrow. The New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. This was the lowest number, guys. The Devils really have gotten very little respect coming into the playoffs. And, it was annoying because, like I said, I played all 8 series correct scores, and I got the Canes to win in 5. And it was only like plus 275 or something like that. Like it was pretty low, which I was not a big fan of. But I think the Devils can win a game in this series, Joe. What do you think about tomorrow night's game? Devils and Canes. The Canes are minus 260 favorites. Total is 5.5.
It seems too easy for game 2 to come in on the Carolina Hurricanes, but I look at the injuries that the Devils sustained in that last game. Luke Hughes, I'm still a question mark on if he's going to be hitting the ice. There was something going on with his shoulder after that hit that he took. And then you look at Dylan. He also left the ice in the first period there, another strong defenseman. And Cody Glass actually took a hit from Jacob Markstrom. But with how Jacob Markstrom played in that game last night, he was absolutely peppered. I can't believe it wasn't a 10-0 style game with how many shots the Carolina Hurricanes were putting on Markey. So I'm looking for the Devils to win one game at least here, but it's not looking good if they're not having those two defensive players out there on the ice. I'll take a shot, though, on the Devils plus 1.5 somehow to try to keep it tight in game 2.
Cam, they got lit up in game 1. Normally teams will respond. We're seeing Dallas respond after being embarrassed in game 1. What do you think of the Devils and Canes tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock? You've been warned, Cam. Better get your bet in early.
Oh, don't worry, Gabe. I bet afternoon ponies. Everything's on the board. I'm going to take the Devils. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to take Carolina. I apologize, Gabe. I think I think the New Jersey Devils reek. And if I saw two horrible defensive performances by two teams, it was the Devils in Ottawa. Joe's point is right. Markstrom, if he was a bad goalie, they would have won that game by 7 goals. It was actually pathetic. When I watch the New Jersey Devils play, they're listless. It's just crazy. I know they got injuries, but Carolina's a damn good hockey team, front to back. They're very, very good. And they get contributions from like Chatfield, other guys. I don't know, Gabe. I just don't think the Devils can play with them. I'm with you. I think they might get one game in this series, tops. But I don't like the price. But I'll find the way to put the Carolina Hurricanes in a parlay.
Speaking of, you were talking about, Joe, the first periods have been unpredictable. And, game ones, the playoffs, it's strange. Like, teams that you figure, it'll be high scoring, it's low scoring. The low scoring game is high scoring. Like you said, look at game 1 of the ID under in game 1 of the Blues and the Jets. I thought I was going to win. You know what I mean? I remember I was like, this is going away. I thought it was 1-0. I literally tuned into a UFL game for a couple of minutes. I went back and I'm like, it's 2-2 after the first period. You got to be kidding me. Right. And then tonight I was stubborn. I was like, no, it'll go under. Like it'll play the way it was supposed to now in game 1. But I say this in saying I'm going to bet tomorrow, Joe, the over 1.5 guys in the first period of Carolina and New Jersey. And I'm not a massive over better. I tend to want to bet, these in-game unders, guys. But yeah, Kev, I'm expecting over 5.5 goals. The Canes probably, you're a big team total player, Joe. Like the Canes will probably score. They're going to score at least 3 times. They probably score 4 times tomorrow, to be honest.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, the Carolina.
So I like the over 5.5, and I like the and over 1.5 in the first period.
Just quickly, Gabe, I'll tell you something though. I'm gun shy. Okay, gun shy. I had that Minnesota Vegas game under 1.5 first period. It didn't have a hope in hell like to score a goal. Vegas scores some crazy goal where he could barely put the puck in, and then they score like literally right at the end of the period. These bets are putting me in orbit, and the empty netters. We got to be careful with this stuff, but I'm with you. If one game's going to be that way, because the Devils' defense, they got big problems, and Carolina, they have sneaky offense. So I agree with what you're saying on the first period over and total in the game.
You know what's crazy too? The over 5.5 is plus money. It's plus 110.
Really?
Which I don't understand. I don't know if I'm walking into I'm walking into the barn and Freddie and Jason's waiting for me, but like 5.5 plus 110 to the over. Yeah, it's like bait car this one. But yeah, I'm like, wow. Even I like the over this game. We're getting plus money. All right, so the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Another, the total's 5.5 in this game, guys, despite the fact there was 8 goals in the first game. Allmark got lit up. The media, the Canadian media is always looking for controversy in the playoffs. They're, do you trust Allmark to Green and stuff after the first game? The Ottawa Senators, they dig themselves in. Like the Washington Capitals tonight looked like a Stanley Cup sort of contending team that understood, all right, like when to cheap shot, when to punch someone in the face. without getting reckless about it, though. Like, you do it in the corners, you do it in the scrums, and you can get away with it. The Ottawa Senators last night just went all out. Like, all right, we're going to, let's try to, like, just beat the Leafs up and intimidate them and hit them. It's like, all right, you also took 28 penalties or whatever. like you weren't, like, it wasn't smart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just running them. Like, there's a difference between finishing your checks and boarding them and running them. Like, and all you did, and you saw it, it just upset the Leafs. And when things are going well for the Leafs, you're not going to beat them. They're like the Buffalo Bills. They're good front runners. So, like, if you're Ottawa, don't make things easy for the Leafs. And they did last night, Joe, with their recklessness. Like, they were completely unhinged, undisciplined. I'm expecting them to be better tomorrow, but I still think the Leafs beat them again tomorrow, to be honest. What's your pick for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs do, because you said it. You look at the Ottawa Senators, you look how reckless they played, allowing Toronto 6 power play attempts, and they were able to convert on 3 of those. And the Toronto Maple Leafs also owned the faceoff, winning 56.1% of them. 56 hits the Ottawa Senators placed on Toronto. Whoever walks out of this series is going to be so beat up going into the second round. It's going to be crazy.
Well, I don't know. At this rate, it won't be long. Like, Toronto might get out of this thing in 5. You know what I mean, Cam?
Like, under.
Like, if Ottawa, we'll hit on the other side. If Ottawa does that again, they're going to get killed. Like, you can't make life easy for the Leafs.
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question, with catchers in fantasy baseball, and sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues, why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You're going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2-catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, shouldn't it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I would probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa. It's a shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy sports today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. So, yeah, as I was saying earlier, I was getting heat for my Toronto Maple Leaf pick. And so, whatever, I got people, what are you kidding me? And LOL. And people like, you know, how high am I? And I got some people in Montreal that weren't happy. How could I take the Leafs? I said, hey, at least I'm saying the Canadiens will beat the Capitals at 7. So, I don't know if that's going to happen, though. But now, after losing in overtime tonight. But I saw Scott Wetzel jump in on Twitter, and he took my bracket and he put on top of it, these goofy Toronto Maple Leaf fans never learn, LOL, with like an emoji laughing about my Leaf pick. And I was going to come at him actually pretty hard. Like initially I was like, what the F is this guy talking about? And I was going to go at him, Cam. And then I was like, I had like a lot of, I was like, my head was spinning. And Joe, I'm much more rational than I would have been in past days. So I actually walked away for a couple of minutes. I was like, all right, walk away. Because I was going to go at him pretty hard, Cam. I was going to say, listen, dumbass, I'm not an effing Leaf fan, number one. And number two, I was like, Leaf fan. I was just sort of like, everything got me. I was like, what are you jumping in my bracket for anyways? What are you commenting for? Like, then you take a shot at my pick. You call me goofy, which on top of it, too, in Ontario with the Leafs and everything, it's like, that's the worst thing, too, Yeah. So the goofy Leaf pick, so I was just like, my eye was burning. I'm thinking, all right, let's take a step back here. So if Wetzel's listening right now, I'm not a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, Wetzel, but I do know the National Hockey League, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are legitimate Stanley Cup contenders this year. I hope they win, Cam, just to shut everybody up. And all my tweets and my videos will be a testament to me being on the right side. That's what I told them. That's what I told someone else. I said, I'm going to be on the right side of history. You're going to see.
You're damn right.
We're going to go back in time. I'm going to be on the right side of history that I said it before the playoffs started. Not jumping on the wagon after, Joe. The Leafs are winning the Cup.
You're Montreal. Joe's Calgary. I'm Toronto. But we're galvanized. I don't even dislike the Canadians. You know what? I was cheering for them tonight against Washington. I want these teams to succeed. I'm sick and tired of seeing the Law and Order commercial with the Stanley Cup sitting there and nobody winning it in decades. Enough is enough, okay? This is the thing. Let's get galvanized. Let's get together. Forget about your local hate.
I do normally do. I'm old school, and I do pull for the Canadian team. But I will say, Cam, too early in the playoffs for me to do that. Like, I'm picking the LA Kings to beat the Oilers.
No, I have the LA Kings over the Oilers too, but we can't. Not every Canadian team's going to win. But the bottom line is that, like every year, let's just say this: for all you people, are the Leafs going to choke? They could, but this is the best chance they ever have with Stolarz and the team that they have to go far. And Wetzel, I know I go on that show with him and Joe and everybody every night, and they laugh at my Leaf stuff too. Sherapan actually likes the Leafs, so you know what? Who cares what people think, Morency? You stick by your bracket and everybody, and if the Leafs actually go to the Stanley Cup, it's going to be party time, baby. I'm going to go nuts.
There you go. This is the ultimate for Leaf fans. Play the LA Kings in the Stanley Cup Finals. Get revenge for 1993. LA Kings.
Snap.
It'd be quite the matchup.
If they lost to the Kings again.
If they lost to the Kings again, Morency, you should come see me do a skydive somewhere. Well, look at Cam. He's jumping off something. Yeah, no, honestly.
Bring Kerry Fraser. Bring Kerry Fraser out of retirement.
Back. Yeah, him and his Babano lid. Perfect hairdo there. Oh, don't worry. Gretzky can clip Gilmore in the face. We don't have a problem. If the Leafs play the Kings in the Stanley Cup Finals, I might lose my mind, actually. I don't want to see that at all.
I'm still haunted by 1993 myself. I lost a lot of money that night.
Damn right.
Lot of money that night. Devastating. 1993. I remember like it was yesterday. I was watching in the Montreal Forum. They had a bar tavern in the building. And sitting there with all these scalpers, and we were all like grinning, like you know what I mean, thinking this is going to be the biggest cash cow gold mine ever. Like the newspaper was already there interviewing scalpers about the buzz and stuff. I had a guy offer me $6,000 for the tickets, like middle of the game.
I wish you.
Yeah, I had 24 tickets, Joe, to the Stanley Cup Finals. They would have been worth like $1,000 and up. Like $1,000 would have been like the minimum, probably about $1,200 each. And I paid $36 for them. So it was basically like $24,000 that I had in invest for getting 24 tickets for $36 each. And but it had to be the Leafs versus the Canadians in the Stanley Cup. The Kings versus the Canadians was not like I got like $200 a ticket, $175 and stuff. I think I got $400 or $500 for like the last game, but like it was nowhere near what it would have been. And who knows? Maybe the Canadians and the Leafs could play each other in the conference finals. Although I don't think the Canadians are going to get that far. All right, so let's keep it moving tomorrow. Joe, your pick tomorrow for the Leafs and the Senators. What's your pick?
Well, I think that first period, it still goes over 1.5 goals. I would expect the Toronto Maple Leafs to get both of those goals themselves. So I'd look at the Leafs probably on that puck line in the first period, laying 0.5 goal.
I'm seeing right now the LA Kings haven't won a playoff series since 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fake news. It feels like.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, since their Stanley Cup, 0-5 in playoff series.
That's kind of weird. Huh.
Well, think about it. They lost the last 3 years to the Oilers. They didn't make the playoffs a couple of times.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They lost a couple other times, so I don't know. That's what they said on the screen. I was just reading what they put on the screen. All right, so Senators and Leafs tomorrow. You're saying that Leafs are going to be up 2-0 after the first period, Joe, so it sounds like you like the Leafs tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the Leafs probably get it done because the Ottawa Senators are spending too much time in the box, and while they try to clean it up, I think the fans and the Leafs will get under their skin again. So I can't take the Senators in game 2.
All right, on the other side, we'll get Joe's picks for the Panthers and Lightning, and we'll get her out of here. We got the Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights once again tomorrow. Vegas are big favorites, minus 240.
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2-catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1-2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? Should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? So I'd probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right. If you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy sports today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, and everybody else in between. All right, Joe Madden. Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning. They're finally going to start this series tomorrow in Tampa. Lightning are minus 115. I saw John Cooper talking about the Lightning also are tired of getting eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. I think it's been 3 years in a row for them as well. And he was talking about how this team is very, very, very energized by their past disappointments. I like the Lightning to win this series and eliminate the Panthers. Listen, the Panthers are so good. They're tough to deal with, but I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are the exact type of team that can beat them because they're very similar. And I think they're a little bit healthier. They're not intimidated by the Panthers. They have home ice advantage. This is going to be a battle. Should be a fun series. What do you think about the series, and who do you like in Game 1, Joe?
Well, firstly, I love the fact that you're looking at both teams that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals last year to be eliminated in the first round, because I'm with you on that. I think the Florida Panthers, their defense is a step behind of what we saw last year. And you look at this Tampa Bay Lightning team, and you look at Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point and Jake Gunsel out there. You look at all their playmakers. This team has every ability to come out nice and strong and hit Florida nice and hard. But I think it has to come straight out of the gate, because we know Florida's had those injuries, been dealing with it. They've struggled down the stretch. So I do think Tampa, it's vital for them to come out and get the win. I'm going to take them in Game 1 here to be able to get it done. It's minus 126 right now on the money line. But I do think if they win it by 2 goals. So I'm going to lay the puck line for a little sprinkle as well, laying the 1.5 at plus 198. And I'm going to look at Braden Point here. In 87 playoff games, he has 87 points. I'm expecting at least a point out of him tomorrow. I'll probably parlay it with something else, but he could get 2 in this one for sure.
Like the call, the Dallas Stars are now up 2-1. The
Kings
Stars have taken a 2-1 lead on the Colorado Avalanche, and the goals keep coming here as the Los Angeles Kings have also just scored. So they both just scored pretty much at the same time. 2-0 now for the LA Kings. Kings just sort of willing it in, throwing it at the net, banging in rebounds. Some nice work there. Fiala with the goal when it's all said and done. 2-0, and oh God, Colorado just scored. Wow. There's been 3 goals in like the last 30 seconds here. You got to be freaking kidding me. Colorado just scored now. Dear God.
Guys.
What's going on?
I got the under 6.5 in this game. I was happy the Stars were up 2-1.
I'm getting angry now. I'm getting angry.
I told you, Cam, you can't trust Ottinger in the playoffs, bro. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I'm telling you, he's not the same.
They overwork them during the season. Aren't these guys ever going to learn their damn lesson? Anyway, the Kings.
I said that before the playoffs started. That's why I didn't like the Dallas Stars. But I'm not blaming them for this goal. But I'm just stating that the Stars are not like the same team. It doesn't seem in the playoffs. But now we got a 2-2 game here. In-game total, Joe's up to 7.5 in the Avalanche and the Stars game. I'm tired of chasing the total here. I'm out. And,
yeah,
we got
it either. Right? It's too high.
2-0 for the Kings right now. That total is interesting. They're not moving it. It's 5.5. Over 5.5 is minus 125. Under 5.5 is minus 105 right now. Yeah, 5.5, Cam. They're not moving it. It's 2-0.
The Kings already have 2 goals. Like, say Edmonton gets 1 more goal. I don't know, 5.5. Like, is this a trap? Now I feel like what you're talking about with Jason and the machete in the barn.
I think it probably goes over.
I'm going in again. Sorry.
I'm going to say it's probably 3-1 after the next period. They're going to be up to 4 probably.
Thank you. Sold. Over 5.5. Oh, boy. I got a lot of problems.
That's what the playoffs do. People start clicking more in-game. I just clicked. I got under 6.5 in the Kings Oilers. I grabbed that early when they scored early. But I also have the 6.5 in Colorado Dallas, which is not looking great right now. And finally, in closing, Joe.
Gabe, that's a lot of goals. It's 2-2. Say they tighten up, like even 3-4. Like
I don't trust them, Cam. It could be 3-3. Like the next thing we know here.
I need to
Colorado nearly just scored right now, and they're about to go on the power play.
Great.
There's a delayed penalty coming up here. What's up with these stupid green Christmas lights in Dallas? I don't like it.
I agree too. They got some
it's too much.
There. Get it together.
Yeah, no, whatever. Like they got these green lights on every step, but like I don't know. Like, I guess Texas is that litigious. They get sued if somebody falls.
Good point.
You like Vegas or Minnesota tomorrow, Joe?
I like Vegas.
Vegas again.
fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You gonna buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2 catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, so we get 12-team league. There are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. It's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think he's going to do this, by the way. Why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I'd probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give him more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa. It's a shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with a 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage, the Monday Night Meltdown. Quickest 120 minutes in sports talk and television. Countdown to the NFL draft is on. We'll get into the draft in a couple of minutes. We've been talking NHL playoff hockey, but we've actually, what a shock. We got a good NBA game. The Knicks and Pistons wasn't bad. It's ugly basketball, but it wasn't bad. This series probably the best series, though, when it's all said and done. 42-39, so they're just sort of going back and forth, but Denver's been pretty much up all night. So the Clippers are playing catch-up here. There's about 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter of play. So we'll keep our eye on this. We'll get you up to date with the updated series price with the Knicks and Pistons and the NHL as well. We've got there was just a flurry of goals a couple of minutes ago. 2-0. It's great stuff. It's fun if there's an action in the late-night hours like this, but we got money on the games. It's chaotic. There's goals. There's ups. There's downs. And we're all, hey, look at the Stars are up 2-1, and we're on the Stars in the under, and then Colorado scores again. So let's go back to that game. The Oilers and Kings have now gone to the dressing rooms, not the locker rooms, the dressing rooms, as they say in hockey, which is whatever. It's a room. So the Kings are up 2-0. The total's 5.5. You can get 2.5 with the Edmonton Oilers right now at minus 115. Cam, are you going to take the Oilers plus 2.5 goals now? You're already on the Oilers. You're going to double dip now on them, all in?
I'm thinking about triple dipping. I got a problem. I got a lot of problems tonight. That Dallas game was going good. Now this Edmonton game. Gabe, you know what playoff hockey does to me? Turns me into an absolute animal. Can't stop clicking. I don't know if these guys are going to get it reamed out at the intermission here. I got to tell you something. McDavid and Draisaitl were literally ghosts. Me and Kurtz could have been on the ice. I don't even know what the hell's going on here with these guys. Like, that was a bad period of hockey by Edmonton. Skinner, that last goal, it was a bank shot. It's just one of those things. LA is very dangerous and deep, but yes, I will take Edmonton plus 2.5. But Gabe, unlike the Arizona State game where I clicked it 7 times and they lost 72-0 and I got pummeled, this is the last click I got. If LA makes it 3-0, I'm done. There you go.
George, what do you think? Edmonton Oilers down 2-0. George Kurtz back in rotation. Good to see you, George. Yeah, what do you think, George? Oilers plus 2.5. Are you interested in that?
I mean, normally I would be interested in this. I don't think the Kings are a team that's going to score 4, 5, 6 goals to win 6-1, 6-2. But I also wonder if the Oilers could be the type of team that, It's over. We lost game 1 here. They don't have Ekholm, right? He's gone for the series here. How healthy is Draisaitl? Is he just healthy enough to play, or is he healthy enough to be Draisaitl? And you wonder if they are still managing the injury they kept throughout the end of the regular season. You see his ice time go down as straight up there. We're not going to win this game. Let's make sure we manage Draisaitl, get him as healthy as can be for game 2. So there are worries here for me, but I do lean towards the side of taking the 2.5.
What do you think of the total of 5.5 right now? Feels a little light, to be honest. Even though I'm already on the under 6.5, I took 6.5 right after the Kings scored early. But I don't really, I might be pushing to try to middle this, taking the over 5.5 and under 6.5. I could, but feels a little light right now at 2-0.
I'm on the pregame under, so I'm certainly not going to double down on it. I do wonder if this could be a game. All right, we lost. We're going to lose 5-1, 5-2, whatever it is. Maybe the Oilers score a couple of late
No,
goals.
they're not going to quit, George, after the first period. They're not done.
No, it's not quitting. It's just managing. And I haven't liked the way they play. They don't, as Cam already said, McDavid and Draisaitl are invisible. They don't have Ekholm. Skinner, I think, is someone who can be very skitterish. You get a goal, all of a sudden they're all going in. He's not someone he knows he's got to battle for
George,
this job.
hockey players don't manage. They grind till the end. That's the one thing. If Edmonton gets the 3rd goal, we can start talking, but it's a 2-goal hockey game. They make it 2-1, it's on, bro. It's that simple.
They have to make it 2-1. If they get the 3rd goal, it's all about the crying here. I'm on the under. I'm not going back in on the total. I'm leaving it alone.
I would take the Oilers plus the 2.5, but I'm on the LA Kings to win the game. And I don't really want to mess with it, even though I could, actually. I've got a lot. You like this, Cam. This is my first crazy sort of parlay that I put together tonight, right before the game. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to add some insurance to my picks. You like this, Kurt? So you got the alternate puck lines, right? So I took the Montreal Canadiens plus 2.5, Winnipeg Jets plus 1.5, and the LA Kings plus 2.5. And it worked out to, it worked out till it was like minus 149. So it wasn't like it was plus money, but the thing is, on top of it, I bet on the Canadiens on the money line. I had the Canadiens at plus 1.5, and I want a little insurance in case. I was like, all right, I'll go plus 2.5 as well. The Jets, okay, you know what? Maybe they didn't win, but I had the Jets as well. And I got the LA Kings, but I also got this is a nice parlay if it hits. But we got the Winnipeg Jets to win. It was minus 200, and the LA Kings to win parlayed together. It turned into plus 164. And, of course, right now the LA Kings are up 2-0. You got to get creative, Kurtz and Cam, in the playoffs a little bit sometimes with some of these numbers.
You know what? These gambling trolls and all these computer guys, I only do anything with pluses, and you're laying 49 in a parlay. You know what? Juice is only a problem when you don't have it in the morning or if you lose. That's the issue. You could do whatever the hell you want to do, man. And your parlays, you win more of those crazy ones than you lose. So who cares about the juice if you're getting 2.5? It's an insurance policy. That's why they sell insurance. And don't worry about it. If you win, you collect. It's only a problem when you lose and you got to pay excessive juice. That's my point.
I agree. No, listen, the alternate puck line plays are great in hockey. There's going to be blowouts every now and then. You got to hope that you're not on that side of it. But what I do, though, if you'll notice, I pretty much had the home teams. Like, I got 2 favorites on the alternate line, George. And I did believe in the Montreal Canadiens. I had the Canadiens plus 165 on the money line, but that jumped off the screen at me, plus 1.5. I should have bet the game to go to overtime. But I believe the Canadiens can play with the Capitals, George. We saw that tonight. I think that's going to be a 7-game series, that series.
Agreed. I was on the game live earlier. So I'm on the Canadiens. It's not that I think they're a better team than Washington, but I think they're a scrappy team. I think they didn't make this mistake that the Ottawa Senators made yesterday, right, where they were playing with so much energy that they were taking stupid penalties. Canadiens, for the most part, stayed away from that. I know AO had the power play goal here, but I was on the Canadiens as well. And I thought we had a shot there when Caulfield tied the game up late. It didn't work out that way. But, I don't think I've been down on Washington all season long as far as them being this great team. I don't think they are great. I think they play in the right division. I think they're likely to beat Montreal. They may likely to beat Carolina or the Devils, but I think that's as far as it goes. I think they're going to lose to whoever comes out of the Atlantic.
One of the things about the Montreal Canadiens,
I think Carolina would beat them.
I agree.
I think they'd be close. It'd be a really good series.
The best thing is some of these teams, when they're down 2 goals, like you knew the Senators were done. But the Montreal Canadiens down 2, and you're getting plus 2.5 is one of the best bets in sports. Look how many times they've come back this year, and they did it again tonight. They're awesome. They never quit, and they'll grind to the end. And they had a +2.5 with like little juice when they were down to Washington. They never tap out.
But also, like the Kings just like outplayed the Oilers a lot. Like it's 2-0.
Yeah.
And it was like the Oilers are going to be in the room going, wow, that was pretty bad. The Canadiens, the first period wasn't pretty for the Canadiens. Like the first 10 minutes, they were getting run at. They had a hard time. Like they were getting beat up a bit. They weren't like, they weren't quite dialed up to like the level that Washington were. But anybody that watched the game, the Canadiens were the better team. Like, you know what I mean? For the most part, like after, the second period, third period, it was just Washington happened to score. They had that 2-0 lead. So if I'm the Canadiens, I feel pretty good about things. We didn't play well in the first period. We could have won. You had a bunch of scoring chances. I think the Canadiens feel pretty good about themselves. Even if they lost the next game, they're still in this series, I think.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. All right. So Dallas and Colorado have slowed down a little bit. It's 2-2. 6:57 left in the second period of play. We're at the half of the Mile High City right now. So we got both Colorado teams in action. The Nuggets are hosting the Clippers. The Clippers are up by 3 at the half. The total closed at 217.5. The total right now at halftime is 216.5, although shaded to the over at -150. -150, I see. The Clippers are currently -1.5, -160 on the money line. Nuggets +1.5, +105, +130 on the money line. Major League Baseball. We got one game going on right now. We're in the bottom of the fifth in the Bay Area. And I didn't pull the trigger on this one. I was going to take the San Francisco Giants if I was going to take anybody in this game. They were losing 2-1, but they got the bases loaded right now. They just actually they just tied the game. It's now 2-2 right now. George, any action for you on San Francisco and Milwaukee? All the Giants do is win baseball games, but it's always hard to trust them. It's like, are they going to win again? They can't win again. Are they going to win again? But they're pretty short favorites all the time, and here we go again tonight. I think they're probably going to beat Milwaukee.
Yeah. Small play on both sides here. I took the over and the Giants, but as I said, small play, nothing I'm worried about. I had much more action on the hockey games than I did the baseball games tonight, but I'm the Giants on the over.
Cam, you betting this baseball? I'm taking the Giants right now. It's minus 155. All they do is win. It reminds me of a couple of years ago when they won the 107 games and they pressed the Dodgers all year, in which it's like, you're not even that good. How are you doing this? But here they are. Do you think they can continue this, Kurtz?
No, I don't. You already said it. I mean, they're not a bad team. Don't get me wrong. They're not a bad team, but they're not going to compete with the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres. No, I don't think they continue this. I think they'll end up around a 500 team, between 81, 83, 84 wins. They might get a wild card. Especially as the Braves look like they're going to get one, right? Because they can't get things straightened out. I know they won tonight. But no, I don't think they'll continue this play at this level, no.
Any action for you, Cam, Milwaukee, San Francisco?
I'd be a liar to say I have action on this game. I've double and triple clicked every hockey game and always keep a little bit in the kitty for late night ponies, Gabe. So no, I'm not touching this game, but I'm kind of with you guys. I think Giants are probably the side, but I'm not touching it.
I want to ask George about, as long as we're talking baseball right now. So, George, did you go to a game? I didn't see online. Did you go to a game in Tampa? You were supposed to, right? Yankees were there. Did you go?
Yeah, I went Thursday and Friday. So I saw the two games. I didn't have any controversy. Yankees won, I think, 6-3 on Thursday and 1-0 Friday. So I missed the big comeback, and I missed all the controversy as far as the Max Fried no-hit and the Aaron Judge home run. Saw it on TV, but I wasn't at that game. And by the way, Tampa Bay, you might want to figure out traffic for games, all right? How do the Buccaneers deal with that? Holy God, what a nightmare. I left 2 hours before the game, and I almost still didn't see first pitch.
Wow.
There was only 13,000 people, George.
Right.
It's not even that big in that little stadium.
And
You know what it is, Gabe? It's like Canada with the Senators game, man. You're stuck for 4 hours. Better hit the suds. You can't get out of that area. It's a nightmare. Like, there's no way to get out.
It was all Yankee fans, though, huh, Kurtz? It was like a Yankee spring training game.
I was about there. There are no Rays fans there. I mean, literally, it has
because it was packed. Like I saw it. I watched one of them all. I was watching on TV a bit, and I was like, man, that stadium doesn't have an empty seat in the house. And I was like, yeah, it's all Yankee fans because it's the Yankee Stadium.
It's Florida. It's Tampa Bay. So all the New Yorkers are down there. It was spring break, for up north. So that's why I was down there. So yeah, it was a good time. It is a nice. I've been there before. It's a nice little stadium. It's like for anybody who lives up here, it's like going to a minor league game with Ducks. If you're on New York, it's going to the Long Island Ducks, same kind of stadium. It was fun. It was a good experience. Hey, the Yankees won, so it was a better experience.
No, that's cool. I want to go to Sacramento and see the Dodgers when they're there, just because it's a small stadium. It'd be cool. You know what I mean? It's a different. You don't get a chance to see teams in environments like that very often. All right, so I can't believe we're all watching the playoffs and stuff, guys. But if you're unaware, so Max Fried of the New York Yankees loses his no hit bid after the scorekeeper goes back in time, which I've never seen before, like with a no-hitter like this. And, this is preposterous. Remember, they wouldn't go back in time for the Galarraga guy that threw the perfect freaking game, right? But so Max Fried bid for a no-hitter, and to do the official score. Fried had a no-hitter in the bottom of the 8th inning. When the official score changed a Paul Goldschmidt error in the 6th inning to a hit after the fact. So it ruined the no-hitter without a hit being allowed. So very anticlimactic and kind of preposterous. And you and I, Kurtz, have actually talked a lot about scorekeeping over the years and about the standard for errors and stuff like that. Bro, it could not been. That's not a hit, George. Like, it's one thing to go back and say, you know what, I screwed up or whatever. I'm not going to go back now. Like, to go back and, like, that was as blatantly as an error. That wasn't a hit, bro. Like, I don't know what the purpose was of that, because to me, I'm like, that's an effing error. And you and I talked about it in the past. They don't charge anything with errors anymore. Like, that's a freaking error, bro. I nearly just swore that was an error. Like, so on top of going back and, like, doing this so unorthodoxly, it wasn't even the right effing call.
Once you called it an error, you can't go back. All right. What you can do is, if you want to call it a hit, wait to see what happens. All right. Wait. Max Fried was never going to pitch a no-hitter yesterday, by the way.
You're right. That's a good point. Let him give up a double after, and then after the game going up, by the way, I changed in the third. I screwed up there.
Max Fried, by the way, Aaron Boone and Austin Wells, they did not know it was changed. No one knew. They announced it in the press box, but they didn't announce it in the stadium. So no one knew, unless you have to be looking up at the scoreboard. You see the one there. So it was ridiculous. But I'll tell you this. I would, if Aaron Boone was the one who called the scorekeeper, go, you know what? Can you call that a hit? Because I really don't want to keep Max Fried here with 125 pitches. Can you call that a hit here so I can take him out here?
You Yankee fans picking on Boone all the time. Everything's Boone's fault, huh?
I'm not blaming Boone.
He gets screwed by the scorekeeper.
He didn't want to keep him in there.
This guy's the best.
You know what? That scorekeeper, like, bro, you're a loser. All right? Yeah. That's all I'll say.
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question, with catchers in fantasy baseball, and sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues, why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2-catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. No. Should he get a point? I think he's going to do this, by the way. Why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? Should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? So I would probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give him more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. Watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday, because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Khalifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
There were a lot of crazy stories in sports. We've been focused on these games, and we'll stay focused on the games. We were at halftime of the NBA. We got 2-2 game right now in Colorado and Dallas, so it has slowed down. Dallas has had a 2-man advantage, but they're running out of time right now. There's 2:55 left in the second period of play, and the third period has begun. We played about 6 minutes in Los Angeles. The second period, in Los Angeles. Kings are still up 2-0 right now. This 2.5 is still on the board, and the 5.5 is still on the board right now. But just as far as baseball is concerned, so now it's just ridiculous, the stupidity of that whole stuff. But good call by you, Kurtz. The guy just should have waited until after the game because he wasn't going to pitch a no-hitter, and he should have known. He's not going to pitch a no-hitter anyways. Don't say anything till after, and then no one will even care and notice that you adjusted it after, right? Like, no one will care. So, but nevertheless, it was a weird story, and I didn't ever really see that. But the other story with Kelenic, did you see that, Kurt? So Kelenic doesn't run hard. He thinks he hit a home run. He doesn't run hard, and he gets thrown out at second base. And after Snickers asked after the game, what do you have to say? What are your thoughts on Kelenic getting thrown out? And he said, I don't have any thoughts. Why? Should I? So he got defensive about it, right? He goes, why should I? Whatever, they're having a terrible year, so, their conferences aren't going, the little scrums aren't going well after these games. And then Acuna goes online after and actually posts himself and tweets out, if I did that, I would have been benched. And, he was benched. What do you think of this stuff with the Braves? Because I see that, and Acuna's not wrong, but it's like, whoa, you tweeted, he deleted it after, but you could tell this is not a happy clubhouse right now with the Atlanta Braves. Their season really is imploding, bro, for real.
It's the old Herman Edwards thing, right? Think before you hit send. Acuna's right, by the way, because he did get benched when he didn't run out. So, similar play here. I thought the whole problem with Snicker was he also says, I didn't see it. You didn't see it? What are you watching?
Yeah, you're the manager.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
Right. And let's just say for giggles, he was involved in something
and
else.
Also, it's not like football guys where you can be the guy, I didn't see it, man. It was on the other side of the field, and there were a bunch of people in my way. You're sitting in the effing dugout. You see everything. You know what I'm saying?
But for giggles here, even if he's talking to another player about whatever, none of your coaches told you this? What's going on here? So either your coaches aren't paying attention either, or you just, you lied to us because you didn't want to bring it up. I have benched other people, but I didn't bench him. Listen, there's no excuse for it. I don't care how much. If you think you hit a home run, it better be a home run. When you're doing it, you're watching the ball here, and it doesn't go out here. There's no excuse for that. Everybody can run. We can all run here. You hit a home run. I don't care if you're doing cartwheels down first base. I wouldn't bother me as long as the ball goes out. But if it doesn't go out, your butt better be on second base, and you better be safe. Other than that, I think Acuna's right. I think if Snicker has to be, you got to be consistent. You bench other guys, you got to bench him too.
I don't like panicking early, and oh boy, wow, these late period goals. That's what wins games. The Colorado Avalanche just scored with 32 seconds left in the period, Cam.
Was it short-handed? You're right, dude. I'm going to tell you something, Renzi. I'm going to pull a Billy Madison and put Jake Ottinger on my list, in lips. I'm done. I'm done.
Let me see this goal.
Done. I don't care if it's his fault or not.
Yeah, but it's one of these deals where they're not his fault, but he's not stopping them. You know what I mean? You got to make a save at some point.
You're supposed to be one of the best in the world. You gag.
He just got beat on a backhand on a weird play here. It's bro, come on,
Enough. It was put in the corner. I'm not going to kill him for this.
I don't care.
No, but George, it was like the early goals. They're not bad goals, but it's also bro, you're supposed to be a starter. You got to make a save, right? It was my whole point coming into the playoffs, Kurtz, last week where you weren't here. I said I don't trust on. I'm on Dallas. I don't like their injuries, but I got off. I don't know, Robert. Their injuries turned me off of them, but also Ottinger. I don't trust them in the playoffs, bro. Right? It's like a Hellebuck. People criticize Hellebuck. People don't criticize this kid here. He's been really good, and I used to think, he's overworked and he gets tired later in the playoffs, but. I don't know. He's just, he's not winning this. He's not saving. He's not keeping them in the games. He can't just keep on.
5 seconds left? 5 seconds? I'm going to lose it after that.
32.
Okay, 32. Okay, that's half range. That's half range. But George, last night I got Minnesota plus 1.5 under 5.5. Vegas scores with half a second left. I was ready to break things. Sick and tired of this crap.
The playoffs just started, Ken. You're only a couple of games in this, buddy.
I got a real problem, kid. Yeah.
fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You gonna buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2 catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I would probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. Watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3 hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency, the Piston players, the hustlers, the people that bust them. Everybody else in between. Monday Night Meltdown continues. Second half has begun. And like a lot of these NBA games, they'll seem to really slow down in the second half. And so we got a 64-62 game. The Clippers are up 2. 7 minutes left in the third quarter of play. This should be a close game all the way through. And sort of breaking rules, like basketball teasers are not popular. And kind of rightfully so. Like basketball games are random. NBA games are all blowouts. And college basketball is often blowouts. So thing is, though, you get into the NCAA tournament, you get close games. And you get like this series, I don't think there's going to be any blowouts, right? You see other teams and you'll get blowouts because one team kind of sucks or they're young and they're not that good. And, Memphis and Oklahoma City or whatever. Both these teams, man, are loaded. Right? The Denver Nuggets have won a championship. You got one of the best players ever in Jokic playing. They're a good team, the Nuggets. I thought they'd get a shot in the arm by firing the coach, and they did. And then you got the Clippers, who they've never won as an organization, but you've got a bunch of dudes that have been in the league forever and they're all-stars. And here we go, 64-62. We had a 2-point game in game 1. We got a 2-point game going on right now. So this is like the only, this is a good one. Oh, the Pistons are making it real right now. All right, so back to baseball, and we'll get to some hockey picks tomorrow. We'll get Kurtz, and we'll get to the NFL draft as well as it's getting real. We're just a couple of days away right now. But looking at the stock watch with baseball right now, the surprises, the disappointments, the money makers. 2 teams only in the Central are making money, and I'll throw it to you, Kurtz. Are you surprised that the Detroit Tigers are 14-9 right now, and they got swept by the Dodgers earlier this year as well, don't forget. That was a 3-game set, too. So they're actually 14-6. That's how they opened their season, right, against the Dodgers. So since then, they're actually 14-6. Let's take that opening weekend out of it against L.A., and that's not an easy task playing against the Dodgers in L.A.
Well, when you look at the Tigers, I mean, it's about their pitching staff. It is that good, right? Skubal, reigning Cy Young, Flaherty, who he'll be good for the first couple of months. I wonder if he will get tired as the season rolls along, but he's fine now. And the 2 youngsters, Job and Mize, both pitching well. I mean, you can make an argument. It's a top 8 staff minimum, maybe better. I will see how it goes.
They're almost top 5.
I was going to say top 5, but without knowing every team, maybe it's top 8. But that's a damn good staff. I worry about their hitting. You know, and Torkelson's got a good start here. Gleyber Torres, we'll see now he's back from the IL. But am I surprised? Now, if you're saying 14-6, yeah, I'd say I'm surprised. 700 baseball. 14-9 sounds about right. It sounds about right for them. And remember, they have money. They can go out and take on a contract to get a big time hitter here. I think the Central, the Tigers, the Guardians, Twins, Royals, it's going to be close all season long. Only the White Sox are, over and done.
No, but it should be noted, too, and I'm not taking anything away from the Tigers pitchers. I agree it's a good stat, but it's a bad hitting division, right? The White Sox, the Twins, the Royals, and in fact, the numbers speak for themselves. KC are 14-8 to the under. Minnesota are 11-8 to the under with a couple of pushes. White Sox are 10-9 to the under, even though they get lit up all the time. Detroit are pretty much even, 11 unders, 10 overs, 2 pushes. Cleveland are actually an over team, and every year, Cleveland, man, whatever their lineup is, it doesn't matter. They're just the same team every year. You got to give them credit. They just grind and win games. The American League East, the Yankees, you're up $88 on the season. Toronto, you're up $211. Toronto are actually the most profitable team in this division right now. The Tampa and Boston are both down money. One team, guys, that kind of flying under the radar a little bit after a slow start. Seattle Mariners starting to hit the baseball a little bit. Mariners, their Mariners have won some games, Kurtz. They're 12-10, and they stumbled out of the gate as well. The Mariners they played themselves into contention right now in this division with Texas.
Listen, I think there's only maybe 3 teams in the entire American League who they have no chance. All right, other than that, everybody's the same. Some teams can pitch well but can't hit. Some teams can hit well but can't pitch. But there's no dominant team. I think you can make an argument that the top 3-4 teams are in the National League. So
you including the Angels in there, Kurtz. My Halos. You throwing the Halos in there?
They're not one of the 3. I would say doesn't have a chance. Do I think they're going to be involved? No, I don't. But
nice start though.
It is a nice. They've sort of done what I thought the A's would do. I thought the A's would be.
They play 500 ball.
The A's are doing fine. What's the A's record? A couple games below 500. They're playing great ball.
I thought they would be better. I thought they would actually make some. I like the Severino, Sears.
Yeah, but you know what though with the A's? Listen, the A's stumbled. The A's didn't have a great start. Remember they got murdered early at home a couple of times. They racked up. I think they were 2-6 or something at one point. So they've actually been a little better. The thing with the A's, George, did you really expect them to compete? I bet them over their win total, 71.5. We're on pace now, right? 76, 77 win team type thing.
Compete, no. I think maybe if things go well, they could be around 500, sure. But I didn't expect that. Hey, my namesake got called up today, right? Nick Kurtz. We'll see what he can do. I think that'll help the. I think he'll mash. He's a great hitter, but they need pitching there, and I don't think they're going to acquire that here. I guess I was hopeful for the A's. I'm glad they got out of the Coliseum, which I thought was a joke. More hopeful.
George, what the hell do you expect from these guys? That's what I'm like. What do you expect from the Sacramento A's? What do you expect from them?
It's actually the Athletics, by the way. They don't have a team designation. For that, what it's worth. I expected more. I expect them, like I said, not compete, but I don't think there's any great teams here. I mean, the Athletics are 10-12. They're in last place in the division, Cam. I expected more. I expected more. Not to be last.
They're 2 games below 500. They're
you're in last place in the division. Any way you look at it, you're in last place in the division.
Help me out here. Help me out here.
The 10-12, by the way, puts you at about 65
His comeback of them being in last place was kind of it was hard to argue that. But he's they're in last place. What do you
put you at 65? That's not good.
Below 500. What? That's all I'm saying, George. You thought
they are minus 167.
They put you at 65 wins. That's not good, Cam. I expected more. I bet they're over. I expected a lot better than that.
I haven't given up on them though. I think they'll put a little run together as the season goes on here. They're battling, stumbling out of the gate a little bit.
Being hard on these guys. Very hard. Very hard.
No, not really. I mean, he's right. It hasn't been the start that people wanted for the Athletics. The Athletics were voted. We talked about it. Remember, I brought it up. Major League Baseball players in their player poll said that they all voted. The question was, who's going to be the breakout team this year? Right, that's no one thinks will be good, and they all said the Athletics. Like everybody, baseball players voted. The Athletics are the next breakout team. They haven't been breaking out, like George said. They are in last place, but I'm not gonna say now they're pushing and shoving in this game
Look
here.
at the division, Gabe. They're literally they're
No, they're
game
right
behind
there.
Houston, 1.5 behind LA. They're 2 games behind Seattle and 3 behind Texas. Literally, the teams ahead of them have 1 more win. Houston's 11-11 and LA's 11-10. Seattle's 12-10 and Texas is 13-9. So who cares? It's like anybody's running away with this damn division, right?
Oh, they're not gonna be in the mix for the division.
I bet them to win the division. I bet them over
Yeah,
71
exactly.
wins. I don't care whether they win the division. I need you to win some games.
The Mets are rolling though. You know, the Mets. You're in New York, Kurtz. What's the feel with the Mets? Mets are, they keep on hitting home runs and winning games, and they're always looking for controversy with Soto. He didn't look too happy after Alonso hit the home run and this and that. But if you're a Met fan, so far so good right now. Great start for the Mets. 10-1 at home this year.
He also had a home run that was questionable. It might have been a home run today that they didn't give him. The Mets' bottom line is the pitching's been much better than we expected. The starting pitching. Much better. I mean, they're pitching kind of well. If this keeps up all season long, they'll run away with this division. That being said, I don't expect the pitching to pitch anywhere near as well as it has.
Yeah, Atlanta's a disaster. They got clubhouse issues. Washington suck. Miami are sort of average. And Philadelphia's bullpen is terrible.
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2 catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? Should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? So I'd probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give him more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right. If you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Khalifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3 hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy sports today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
I was wondering, all right, how did I am Morency and the Monday Night Meltdown continues. I was wondering how this started. There was a little shoving match in a basketball game, and it was Jamal Murray was guarding Norman Powell, and he kind of picked him up, like he did, too. It was pretty aggressive. He kind of picked him up, and and Powell didn't like it. And sort of shoved Murray, and then who the Braun kid came over, and Braun, he's an instigator. This kid too, good player, but he doesn't shy away from it. So he came in and he got into it with Powell, And when it was all said and done, it looked like Powell was the only one that ended up getting teed up. Jamal Murray should have got technical for that as well, in my opinion. But anyways, 68-67 for the Clippers. 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play. Like I said, it's a very contentious series going on here right now. George Kurtz in the house with us. Cam Stewart's melting down. We're only 2 days into the hockey playoffs, 2-3 days into the playoffs, and Cam is on tilt, on edge. 3-0. So a good thing that's why I didn't want to take that 2.5, Cam, with Edmonton. So now they're getting 3.5, but I won't try to tempt you with that. They might lose 5-0.
Oh, no. I'm quite aware. A 5 would be good because 4.5, like 5. Kurtz just put me in orbit with his Oakland A's stuff. But anyway.
The Athletics, yeah.
I actually want him to do the math again because I still – anyway, we'll talk about this later. But this other game, Gabe, I don't know what the hell we're going to do here.
No, it's not good. Like, he's right. They're on pace to win like 69 games or something, 68 games, 67 games.
Okay.
Like they got to win more.
What?
71.5, 72.5, 71.5, whatever, 72.5, 71.
22 games into the damn season. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
What happened to the Blue Jays tonight? They lost.
The Blue Jays, that was a horrible loss. Kings just scored again. Blue Jays, that extra inning loss to the Mariners got the Mariners a bounce in their step. That was a big win for the Mariners, man. Big
Not going to win my under. Oh, well.
Like I just said, 5-0. Yeah, I'm getting worried about the 6.5 here right now, Kurtz, in the Kings game. I played it. Man, the Kings are just rolling right now.
Here. This is back-to-back goals. There's nobody in front of the net. The Kings had 2 players there. I mean,
Skinner's not good, but that's also this defense is like Pee-wee hockey. Like there's nobody covering anybody. There's 3 Kings where's you said it, George. Like there's 2 Kings fighting over the puck. There's no Oiler in town. Like this is pathetic, Gabe. Pathetic.
Well, the Oilers are backing into the playoffs here. That's why I like the LA Kings. And it could be that both teams that made the Stanley Cup Finals last year both get eliminated in the first round. What's your pick, George? Who wins the series, Tampa or Florida?
Without knowing Matthew Tkachuk's status, I mean, I think you have to go Tampa, right? I mean, they're playing so damn well. Vasilevsky looks great. Hagel, what a find he's been for a couple of years now. Kucherov, of course, is great. Gensel has been
Braden Point.
Braden Point here, guy. I mean, if Matthew Tkachuk was healthy, I'd probably feel different because I still think Florida's built for this. For to play 6-7 game series without knowing his stats or how good he's going to be if he does play here. I'm going to go Tampa. I'm going to go in 6.
You know what? I'm getting worried too. I picked the Kings in 7 just to go into that series. I'm worried about the Oilers now. Like this could implode on them. Like I said, the Canadian media, some of these teams, and Edmonton's media is nasty. Like it's going to get ugly early. They're going to, already all the meltdown and Skinner sucks and this and that and. But I get the feeling they're kind of worn out right now. McDavid, hasn't been the same since the Four Nations either. They have so many injuries, this team. All right. NFL draft. We've got to bounce around. A lot of stuff going on here. It's getting real right now, Kurtz, and this is it, actually. We won't start speak again before the NFL draft. So, first pick, Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. Are you buying in that Travis Hunter will be the second pick to the Cleveland Browns? It's minus 800. Everybody thinks it's a lock. Are you believing that as well?
Yeah, I think it's. I do think it's Ward 1, Hunter 2. I think Cleveland sort of fell in love there, and maybe they'll try and trade back into the first round to get a Milroe, Jackson Dart, whoever falls to them. In the, I don't know, mid-20s, somewhere around there.
All right, so where it gets interesting is the third pick. The Giants are unpredictable at the best of times, right? So you never really know what they're going to do. The people really believe that it's going to be Abdul Carter. He's minus 550 to be the third pick. Guys, I'm going to throw it out there right now. We're not going to win every one of these bets, but that's why it's plus 500. I'm going to roll the dice that it is going to be Shedeur Sanders. I believe that they've done a good job of distracting people, that they're actually just going to take Shedeur. They've been in love with Shedeur for 2 years. They've gone to every one of his games. Me and Sarah Tell have talked about this for like the dude at the college all-star game. They're all over him. He's been in New York before. He wants to be a Giant. I personally think that the Giants are going to surprise everybody and take Sanders, George, with the third pick. What's your pick for the Giants?
They should take Sanders, but I don't think they will. It could be a great smokescreen to make sure no one trades up to number 2 because to get him here. But my thing is this. If you're going to take Sanders, you have to know you were probably going to get him all along. Why are you signing Russell Wilson? Why are you signing Jameis Winston? If Sanders goes there, he has to get the practice reps. And Dable and Shen have to know, with Sanders, you might win 6 games. You're fired. You're not surviving to next year. You're right, to 26. So Abdul Carter could help you win this year. And maybe you can get to 8. No, I don't think they can anyway, mind you. So I think they're screwed no matter what they do here. But I think their thinking might be, Abdul Carter can help us win now. Sanders is 2 years from now, 3 years from now. We won't be here for that. So I'm going to say Abdul Carter, but they should draft Sanders.
What's your pick for the New England Patriots, 4th?
Campbell. I'm going to go the tackle there. They got to protect May here.
Will Campbell to protect Drake May?
Maybe Warren, that tight end at Penn State. That guy's a beast.
I don't think it would. I do love that. I don't know that early.
They got Hunter Henry. The guy's he's old, man. Real old.
They have too many other holes. Tyler Warren, for the record, is 75-1. You can roll the dice on it. 75-1 to go to the to be the 4th pick of the draft. Will Campbell's -400. My only outlier. Listen, the Membao is a player that that a lot of people like, and I was going to say Ashton Genty. Do they shock everyone and take Genty?
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2-catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. It's what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. No. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? Should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? So I would probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Khalifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy sports today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. We'll go rapid fire here, NFL draft. We'll get some picks in for the hockey and the NBA before we're done. So, Kurtz, over, under, Ashton Genty, 6.5 right now. I don't think he gets to 7. I think he either goes to the Jags 5 or and the Jags 5's not a crazy bet, guys. Or it's plus 500. They could use a running back. You got an offensive coordinator that's a coach there in Liam Cohen. Genty's a dynamic, generational type of guy that can help any offense. Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't really need another wide receiver. He needs somebody he can hand a freaking football off to. Trevor Lawrence isn't a star quarterback. He's serviceable, but you know what I mean? Genty would be perfect for the Jags, George. Like I said, I don't think that's a crazy bet.
No, not at all. I love the under there. If he doesn't go 5, I don't think that he's going to get past the Raiders at 6 here. So I'll definitely take the under 6.5 for Genty.
All right, Jackson Dart, over under 24.5. George,
under for fun.
Seems to. I thought he was thinking about it, but I think I think we
Did he
lost
just
him.
freeze? Yeah, is that
I thought normally he wouldn't take that long to answer. I got Jackson Dart. I got Jackson Dart at under 23.5, and then it actually moved to 24.5, so I didn't get a great number on it. Dude, Adam Schefter was reporting today. He said that the New Orleans Saints, and I said this in the past before. I said that, you know what, because there's a thing about, Shedeur Sanders, if he does, you know what I mean, the Saints will take him for sure with the 9th pick. And there's no secret. You know what I mean? This goes back to like the first day that Kellen Moore got the job. One of the first things he did is he went and he met with Jackson Dart. Like, he likes Jackson Dart a lot. I think, and word is he likes Jackson Dart better. I already said this we said this already. Now Schefter's saying this right now, George, days away before the draft. I don't think it's crazy if Jackson Dart ends up going 9th to the New Orleans Saints.
I think that's so smart, Gabe. Also, where did he play at school? Mississippi, Louisiana, nice and tight down there. The guy's already from the area. People know Jackson Dart. I think it's a great fit for New Orleans.
He's played the SEC, but like everybody, he's a California kid. All these SEC quarterbacks are all from LA. It's just people think they're from the South.
You know what I'm saying, though? He went to Ole Miss and
he also went to USC too. He transferred from USC to Ole Miss.
But that's I'm just making a point. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think he'd be.
The problem is he's not good enough to take 9th overall, but they might think they have to. So I don't know, but. So Kurt's over under for you, Jackson Dart, 24.5 right now.
Under. I don't think he may not get past. Even if he gets past New Orleans, who by the way could trade down a couple of slots and then take him at 13, 14. There.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a gamble. You don't know if any of those teams are going to take a quarterback, but I'll take the under here. I don't think you go. The Steelers might be interested at 21 anyway.
That's where I'm going to go with that. I can see it. I think the Shedeur stuff could be a smokescreen as well. I think the Saints would have a hard time passing on Shedeur Sanders.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? If he's there. And if it's me and I got Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders, I'm going with Shedeur Sanders. I don't care about what everybody in the media is saying right now. I'm going with Shedeur over Dart. I don't think Dart's great. I think Dart's good, but, I saw Mina Kimes saying that he'll get killed with the Saints, Jackson Dart. There's no talent there. It's not a good fit for him. Jackson Dart will be better suited if he lands with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I think legitimately could happen. I think the Steelers could go with him. They could. You could justify taking him with the 21st pick. You could justify it. So I could see that happening. But like you said, George, about a trade, I think Pittsburgh might panic a little bit.
Move up.
Right there, you know what I mean? They're going to be the ones going, dear God, we're going to have to jump up to 14 or something or 12. We can't, or 16, you know what I mean? There could be some jockeying going on there.
I think it would depend on how close they think Rodgers is to signing with them, right? If they think Rodgers is going to sign, then I don't think they'll panic. And by the way, if they think Rodgers is going to sign, they still want to sign, then they probably won't draft Dart either because I don't see Rodgers signing there.
I don't think Rodgers is done.
Yeah.
I don't think Rodgers even wants to play. His interview didn't go well, with McAfee there, with NFL teams. Tyler Warren is over under 9.5. Over 9.5 is minus 225. So if you think Tyler Warren's going to go in the top 10, you're getting some nice plus money. The Jets could take him. I said the Jets, the Jets could go a lot of different positions.
Panthers could take
Carolina would be a good fit.
Yeah. I'll take the under. Not a big type. I'll take the under.
I think he goes in the top 10 as well. Other than that, you're on your own later.